Okay, so I thought I will take this opportunity to talk to you a little bit about the meaning of some select slokams from Venkatesa Prapatti. So before we start, let's talk about what does Prapatti mean. Prapatti, or another word for that, is Sharanagati. Prapatti means the surrender of oneself to Sriman Narayana. Now, when we say Sriman Narayana, it includes both Lakshmi and Narayana. So it's Shri and Narayana together. So it's Sriman Narayana. And why do we want to do this Prapatti? Basically, we want to do this Prapatti is to attain moksha. That is, basically, we want to be released from this cycle of birth and death that the individual soul undergoes. We want to be free from that, and we want to be liberated from that. So we perform Prapatti to Sriman Narayana to attain moksha. And moksha happens after death, where the individual soul is not born again, but it's reunited with Sriman Narayana in Vaikuntham, and it serves him there. Now, there are two essential prerequisites for performing Prapatti. One is called akinchana, which means it's a recognition of one's utter helplessness to practice any of the methods such as bhakti yoga, karma yoga, or jnana yoga as a way to attain him. The second prerequisite is na anyagati, that is total dependence on the Lord and the Lord alone for one's salvation. There is no other way other than Sriman Narayana. So if you have these two requisites, then you're ready to perform Prapatti or surrender or Sharanagati. Now, with that introduction, let us go into the Shlokams. Now, all the Shlokams in the Venkatesa Prapatti, except for the first and the last Shlokam, will always end with the line Shri Venkatesa caranau sharanam prapadye, which means Shri Venkatesa, I seek refuge at thy feet. Caranau is his 2 feet. Sharanam is refuge. Prapadye, I seek or I take. Now, when we go through the slokams, instead of going word by word meaning, I'm just going to give you the theme of the slokam so that you can remember it and you can visualize that theme while you chant the slokam. And in order for you to remember the theme, I'll try to identify some key words in the slokam that when you hear, it should bring back that theme of that slokam to your mind and then help you to visualize it. Now, after saying the slokam, at the end, when you say Shri Venkatesa caranau sharanam prapadye, just visualize falling at his 2 feet and taking surrender. So offer everything to those lotus feet, whether it be success or failure, happiness or joy, sorrow, sadness or loss, whatever it is, surrender it at his feet. And hold on tight to those feet in whatever situations you find yourself in. Now, if we move to the first slokam, in Sri Vaishnava practice, we always have to surrender to Mahalakshmi first, to Tayar first, before we can approach Perumal. So the first slokam, ishanAm jagatosya, starts off with offering Prapatti to Sri Mahalakshmi, as we need her help to intervene on our behalf to convince Perumal to forgive our sins and to grant us moksha. ishanAm jagatosya venkatapater vishnor param preyasim tadvakshasthala nityavasa rasikam takshanti samvardhinim padmalankrita pani pallava yugam padmasanastham shriyam vatsalyadi gunochvalam bhagavatim vande jaganmataram. Now, some key phrases to understand here so that could help in your visualization is Tad Vaksha Stala Nitya Vasa Rasikam, which means that she always resides on the chest of Srinivasa and is his dearest consort. Vaksha Stala is the chest area. Nitya Vasa, she's always residing there. Rasikam, the dearest consort. Now, because she is in close proximity to the Lord on his chest, what does she do? That Shanti Samvardhini. She increases the Lord's forgiveness for us, the erring souls. Why does she do this? Because she has Vatsalyadi Gunojvalam. She shines with the gunam of Vatsalyam. Vatsalyam is motherly love. It's been compared to the love a cow has towards her calf. Because she's shining with this motherly love, um, she intercedes on our behalf no matter what we have done to plead our case with Perumal to forgive us and to grant us moksha. She is Vande Jaganmataram. I bow down to, she's mother of the whole universe, Jaganmataram. So while saying this slokam, of course, I think of all these slokams, you should definitely memorize this slokam and be able to say it by heart and try to say it, if possible, just every day. And this is a very nice slokam. Also, if you could teach this one slokam to your children, it will be very, very good. So when you chant this slokam, you should visualize Mahalakshmi is seated on a lotus, Padmasanastam, and she has lotus flowers in her hand, and she is residing on the chest of Srinivasa. And she is beaming motherly love towards us, her children. Then ask her to intervene on our behalf with the Lord, to forgive our sins, and to grant us two things. One is bhakti or devotion in this life, and second, mukti or liberation after this life. Now, moving on to the second slokam. Now that we have bowed down to the mother and obtained her blessings, now we approach our father, Lord Srinivasa, and start to perform our prapatti at his sacred feet. Now, this slokam is just a list of adjectives which describe the various qualities of Srinivasa. So let us look at some of what these qualities are. Krupa jala nidhe is the ocean of compassion. Krita sarva loka, he created this whole universe. Sarvagnya, one who knows all things. Shakta, all powerful. Natavatsala, affectionate to those who bow to him. Sarvaseshan, one who is the lord of all animate and inanimate things. Sushila, Sulabha, Ashrita, easily attained by those of good conduct. Parijata, he is the divine tree Parijatam, which grants whatever boons that you ask from it. So when you visualize, imagine Srinivasa standing in Tirumalai and he is radiating two contrasting things at the same time. The first thing is power. He's all powerful, Shakta, all knowing, Sarvagnya. He created this whole universe, Krita Sarva Loka. Sarvaseshan, he's a lord of all things. Despite all this power, he also radiates approachability by us because he is ocean of compassion, Kripa Jalanide. He is easily attained, Sulabha Ashrita, and he is the boon granting divine tree, Parijata. So let us be happy that the one who is the most powerful in the whole universe is also so approachable by us. Moving on to the third slokam. Anupurarpita sujata sugandhi pushpa saurabhya saurabha karo samasanniveshau saumyo sadanubhavanepi navanubhavyo Shri Venkatesa charanau sharanam prapadye. In this slokam, the poet is saying that devotees place at your feet fragrant flowers, sugandhi pushpa, during their worship. That assembly of flowers reaches up and covers all the ornaments adorning your anklets. Anupurarpita. As a result of their association with your holy feet, the fragrance of these flowers gets multiplied manyfold. Although I worship your tender flower-covered feet every day, my enjoyment of your sacred feet increases day by day. I am never satiated by the thought of your divine feet. On the contrary, the glory of your sacred feet enhances my desire to worship them even more every day. Those Padakamalams are a delight to my eyes and my mind. I offer now my prapatti at those sacred feet of yours. When you say this slokam, visualize Imagine these wonderful flowers at Srinivasa's feet going all the way up to his anklets. And the fragrance of these flowers are getting increased many, many times by the association of those flowers with Perumal's feet. Imagine that those feet are a delight to your eyes and your enjoyment of those feet increases day by day. Shlokam 5. Rekhamaya dhavaja sudha kalashatapatra vajran kushamburuha kalpaka shankachakreihi bhavyer alankrita talau paratatvachinheihi Shri Venkatesa caranau sharanam prapadye. So, in astrology, the lines on the palms of your hands and even on the sole of your feet reveal the nature and fortune of the person concerned. In this slokam, it describes the lines, the rekha, that are on the soles of Srinivasa's sacred feet. These lines outline the emblems of Mahavishnu. What is an emblem? An emblem is a thing that serves as a symbolic representation of a particular quality or concept. Here, the 9 emblems of Mahavishnu that are visible on the soles of Srinivasa's feet are described. Each of these emblems points out a divine power of the Lord. The first emblem is the banner, dhavaja. It announces the authority and the sway of the Lord over everything. And when one is under the protection of this banner, it will lead one to the highest spiritual heights. The second is the pot of nectar, sudha kalasha, which bestows immortality on one who takes its contents. Its presence in the Lord's feet has the effect of bestowing eternal life on those who surrender to those feet. Atapatra, the third symbol, is umbrella, atapatra, which signifies all the protective power of the Lord and gives safety and peaceful existence to the devotee. As Andal says in the Tiruppaவை, Kundru Kudayai Edutthai Gunam Potri. Here the reference by Andal is to when Krishna lifted the Govardhana hill, Kundru, as an umbrella, Kudayai, to protect the residents of Vrindavan from Indra's thunderstorms. The fourth symbol is the diamond, Vajra. The diamond cuts through any barrier, bestowing the grace of the Lord on the crowning jewel, which is the soul of the supplicant. Fifth symbol, Ankusha, is a goad. A goad is nothing but a stick that is used for tending and for driving cattle. So this goad represents restraining all the evil actions and chasing them off. The sixth symbol is Amburuha, which is the lotus. The lotus is a symbol of prosperity, both material and spiritual, and signifies the heart of the Lord where Mahalakshmi resides. The seventh symbol is the wish fulfilling tree, Kalpaka, which is the Lord's nature to grant what his devotees want. Eighth symbol is Shankha, which is the conch. The conch, by its touch, bestows omniscience and enables one to perceive the Lord and utter his praise. Dhruva, when he saw the Lord, could not even speak. The Lord touched his head with the conch, and outflowed a torrent of stotrams of the Lord, which gifted knowledge of the Lord's blessedness and glory. And the ninth and final symbol is the chakra or the discus. The chakra, the Sudarshana chakra, is invincible and can never return without wiping out the enemy of those who are the devotees of the Lord. The outline of these 9 divine symbols on the soles bestow all those benefits to those devotees who bow down before these feet and prostrate at them. Hence, special mention is made of these signs of surrenders to the Lord in this slokam, so that we are protected against all sorts of disabilities and provides of earthly existence. Shlokam 6. Tamrodara dyuti parajita padma ragau Bahir Maho Bhirabhibhuta Mahendra Neelau Udyan Nakham Shubhi Rutasta Shashanka Basau Shri Venkatesa Charanau Sharanam Prapadye. So here the feet are being compared to various gems. The first, and saying that the Lord's feet outshine all these gems. So the first gem that's mentioned here is called Padma Rago, which is really a gem of red color. So here the sole of Perumal's feet are brighter than the colors of the Padma Rago gems. The second gem is Mahendra Nilo, which is blue sapphire, which Perumal's feet, the color of Perumal's feet outshines the brightness of that blue sapphire. And the third, they're saying, Nakam, that is his nails on his feet, Shubhi Rudasta Shashanka Baso, the light coming from his nails are brighter than the moonlight, Shashanka Baso. So again, so you can see the red of his feet, the sapphire blue, the red of the soles of his feet, the sapphire blue of his feet, and then the whiteness and the brightness of his nails. So all that you should visualize while chanting this Shlokam. Very beautifully he has brought this out in Sanskrit in this Shlokam. Shlokam 7. Sapremabheeti kamala karapallavabhyam samvahanepi sapadi klamamadadhanau kanta avan manasa gochara saukumaryo Shri Venkatesa charanau sharanam prapadye. In this Shlokam, Mahalakshmi is doing service to the feet of the Lord by massaging it with tender love and care, with her soft and sprout-like hands, Kamala Kara Pallavabhyam. So when you hear this word, Kamala Kara Pallavabhyam, you should remember, imagine this of Mahalakshmi massaging the feet of the Lord. She is apprehensive that the Lord's soft feet may bruise from the massage. Here a paradox is being presented. In his incarnation as Trivikrama, the Lord measured the universe with his feet, Ongi Ulagalanda. During Ramavataram, his feet traveled over harsh forest and mountain paths. But yet, these very same feet are so tender that they bruise from the gentle pressure generated by the soft hands of Mahalakshmi when she massages them. I offer my prapatti to those mysterious feet, whose greatness is not easy to comprehend. Tenderness of those feet are only felt by those who bow down before it in all humbleness and surrender. For those who are evil, those feet are hard. So when you visualize this, visualize a very blissful picture where Mahalakshmi is tenderly massaging Lord Srinivasa's feet. And we can also feel the softness of those feet when we humbly surrender to him and hold on to them firmly for salvation. Shlokam 11. Parthaya tatsadrsa sarathina tvayeva yau darshitau swacharanau sharanam vrajeti bhuyopi mahyam ihatau karadarshitau te Shri Venkatesa charanau sharanam prapadye. So here the word Partha is really referring to Arjuna. Another name for Arjuna is Partha. And Sarathina here refers to Krishna, who was Arjuna's charioteer, Sarathi, during the Kurukshetra war in Mahabharata. So at the start of the Kurukshetra war, when Arjuna saw his cousins, the Kauravas, and other relatives on the other side of the battlefield and he had to battle them, he was overcome by Vishadam, or sadness, despondency, and he refused to fight. Krishna, then, who was his charioteer, then delivered the Srimad Bhagavad Gita to clear Arjuna's confusion. In the Bhagavad Gita, the paths of Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga were all expounded in great detail by Lord Krishna. But then the Lord acknowledges the difficulties in practicing these paths. And in the last chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, in Shlokam 66, he gives a simple method, Sharanagati, to attain him. This Shlokam is called the Charama Shlokam. In that Shlokam he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami masuchaha. He says to Arjuna, though I have mentioned all this Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, give up all these things and Mam Ekam Sharanam Praja, in me alone take refuge. Mam, in me, Ekam, alone, Sharanam Vraja, take refuge. If you do so, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo moksha ikshyami. I will liberate you from all sinful reactions. Ma suchaha, do not worry. So this is the famous Charma Shlokam in the Bhagavad Gita where Sharanagati is outlined and prescribed. So this incident is what is being referred to in this Shlokam. So what the poet is saying is, parthaya tatsadrsa saratina tvayaiva yaudarshito swacharanau sharanam rajeti. That feat which was shown to Partha by you as Krishna, the charioteer in Kurukshetra war, and you said seek their refuge at that time, those same feet are again here on Venkatadri hill, and it's being shown by your hand as saying seek refuge. Bhuyopi mahyam ihatau karadarshitau te. So if you look at Perumal, you will always see his right hand will be in the mudra where the palms will be open and his right hand will be pointing down. What that is indicating is they're pointing to his feet and they're saying, surrender to them. Mamekam sharanam raja. In me alone, surrender to them. That is the easiest way for you. So this slokam here is now tying that together of what Krishna told Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita and the Charma slokam, and to what Srinivasa is showing with his right hand standing and pointing to his feet and say surrendering that. So when you visualize, then again visualize Krishna delivering the Bhagavad Gita and pointing to Arjuna to surrender at his feet, and then superimpose on that picture Srinivasa standing at Tirumalai with his right hand pointing also to his sacred feet and saying, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Shlokam 12. Manmurdhni kaliyaphane vikatata vishu Shri Venkatadri Shikare Shirasi Shrutinam Chitte Ananya Manasam Samamahitaute Shri Venkatesha Charanau Sharanam Prapadye. Venkatesha, I seek refuge of thy feet, which are placed alike on my sinner's head, on the hood of the serpent Kaliya, in the thick forest, on the peak of Venkatachala, in the Upanishad, and also in the hearts of the sages who meditate on God only. So here, let us talk about the story of Kaliya. When Krishna was a very young boy, near Vrindavan, Kaliya was a venomous snake who made his home in a lake called Kalinidhi near Vrindavan. He made that lake his home there to escape from Garuda. Garuda was given a curse by a sage that if he were to come to this lake, he would lose his life. So Kaliya had come to this lake to escape from Garuda and he poisoned it with his venom. No other creature or even the residents of Vrindavan were able to go in the lake or anywhere near the lake. The Lord took compassion even on such a poisonous, self-centered serpent king. As a young boy Krishna, he went into the lake and started dancing with his divine feet on the many hoods of Kaliya. He humbled him, drove out all the evil from him, and ordered him to go off to his original abode, saying that the imprints of his divine feet on his hoods were a guarantee to him against all danger from Garuda. Now, this wonderful dance of Krishna on the hoods of the Kaliya serpent is called Kalinga Nartanam. See, Kaliya was full of selfishness, venom, and viciousness, not allowing any other creature to the pond. We of the present times are also in the same predicament. The devotee therefore prays for the imprints of the glorious feet of the Lord on our head as well, so that all thoughts of ego, self-aggrandizement, and mundane attachments vanish, and we gain the towering mercy and protection of the Lord, under whose feet he or she is drawn. Now here, I want to take a little break and show you something. There's a wonderful song that was composed by a famous poet called Utakadu Venkatesa Prapatti. That song is called Kalinga Nartana Tillana. And there's a very nice rendition which I want to just play for you, which will help you to visualize when you chant this slogan. When you chant this slogan, you must be thinking of Krishna dancing on the different heads of Kaliya. Every time one hood came up, he would put his feet on and push it down. And if you listen to this song, uh, it's a very, very nice song, and I thought it'll be a nice change. Instead of me, you've been listening to me for a long time, so I thought it'd be a nice change if I play that song for you. Just for a couple of minutes, I'll play that song. Okay, so I thought that song has been so wonderfully composed by, arranged by Kuldeep Pai and sung by Surya Gayatri and Rahul Vellal. So I just thought it is a very nice song to visualize the dancing of Krishna on the Kaliya serpent. Okay, so let's continue to the 13th Shlokam. Okay. The next Shlokam, the 15th Shlokam, sorry, is a tribute to Manavala Mamunigal, Acharya. So the person who composed the Shlokam was Prativadi Bhayankara. This Acharya, of course, was of course the great Sri Vaishnava Acharya Manavala Mamunigal. So here he says, Annan says in the Shlokam, that Sri Manavala Mamunigal, Saumyo Payantra Munina, his feet are always worshipped by the people of pure heart. Satvottarais satata sevya padambujena. His mild and merciful glances enable people to cross the ocean of samsara. Samsara taraka dayadra driganchalena. And Manavala Mamunigal has pointed out your holy feet, which is Srinivasa's holy feet, Mama Darshitaute, and revealed to me that they are the only means of attaining lasting happiness in this world and the only means to gain eternal residence in Vaikuntha. So I have followed the path shown by my illustrious Acharya, and as a result, I perform my Sharanagati at your feet. So in Sri Vaishnava tradition, you must always go through an Acharya to be able to approach Perumal. So here he pays tribute to his Acharya, Sri Manavala Mamunika. And then the last Shlokam is a very, very important Shlokam from this thing. Srisha Shriya Ghatikaya Twadupaya Bhave Prape Tvai Swayam Upeyataya Spurantya Nityashritaya Niravadya Gunaya Tubhyam Syam Kinkaro Rishagirishana Na Chatumahyam. So it says, O Lord of Shri, your consort Mahalakshmi intercedes on our behalf with you and helps us to reach you. When we reach you, she also is there with you as the inseparable divine couple. Nityashritaya, you do not leave her at any time. Niravadya Gunaya, you are full of auspicious qualities. Tubhyam Syam Kinkaro Vrishagirisha, I become a servant to you, O Lord of Vrishagiri, na jatu mahyam, and not to myself at any time. This slokam describes one of the key principles of Sharanagati or Prapatti. In Sharanagati, as opposed to other means such as Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga, the way to attain the Supreme and the goal that is reached when you follow the way is both exactly the same. The way and the goal is Shriman Narayana. The Shriman Narayana, that is, the way is Shriman Narayana because by surrendering to him, we attain moksha. And after surrendering, who do we reach? The goal, that is Shriman Narayana as well. Now, of course, when I say Shriman Narayana, it includes both Lakshmi and Narayana, Shri and Narayana. So, the Annan concludes the Venkatesa Prapatti with this final slokam, which has one of the key cardinal principles of the Sharanagati or Prapatti Tattva. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you, and hopefully you can remember some of this as when you chant the slokams, some of this might come to your mind, and please try to visualize what you can. Thank you very much.